Notes. I'm Diane Bogino, and our guests today are Brittany and Wayne Newberry, owners of Knit Witch. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
Brittany, I understand that you have 2 master's degrees from Emory University in nursing. Now, how did you make the leap from nursing to knitting?
Well, Wayne and I always wanted to have a business together, and the stars just aligned with our talents, and I learned to knit, and then we started doing the videos, which Wayne filmed and everything for us, and it just kind of progressed from there. We got his pottery going on the website, and then we started dyeing yarn, and it's just kind of taken off.
Now, what are the videos? Tell me about the videos.
Well, when I was learning to knit, 'cause I taught myself how to knit, you know, when I would go online to look at videos and more information, there just wasn't anything out there. So, you know, even though I was brand new learning how to knit, we kind of thought, well, you know, we can do this better than what's out there. So we started the videos, and that was how the whole website started.
Okay. Now, Wayne, you had a pottery business. Brittany mentioned that you do pottery. Was it a hobby? Was it a business before Knit Witch, or?
Well, it started off as physical therapy because I had an accident back in the late 90s and I needed some kind of therapy for my hand. So I thought, well, pottery. I'll try it because they had it in the, there's a local community arts center in Tucker, which is where we met. And I started taking classes there, and I just fell in love with it. And I ended up getting a wheel and ended up getting a kiln, and next thing you know, I'm just in it. I'm loving it.
Okay.
And like she said, our talents just kind of melded, and Knit Witch was born.
But there is a particular product, I understand, that you use, that you make in your pottery that applies to the knitting business.
Right, he started making these ceramic yarn bowls that have a slot in them so you can feed your yarn through it. And it's a slot so you can take your yarn out, you know, in the middle of your project if you want to. But it holds your ball of yarn while you're knitting, so it's not, you know, running all over the place.
And it cat-proofs it.
Yeah.
Good for keeping it from the cat.
Sort of cat-proofs it. It decreases the likelihood of cat attacks.
Now, you are obviously a husband and wife team working together, and I know a lot of our viewers out there and people I talk to all the time say, I could never work with my spouse. How do you handle that? I mean, surely there must be disagreements that come up and things of that nature.
I think the big thing is that we're best friends. That always helps. We actually like each other.
That's good.
Yeah,
right?
It's very good, and I know she's the boss. So
Problem solved.
no problems.
You'll be married a long time anyway.
I plan on it. I plan on it.
I think, you know, when we start our day and we get to work and we just get in the groove, you know, he's working on pottery, I'm working on dyeing yarn, and I'm sort of the business aspect of things, and he's sort of the creative director.
She's totally the business end of things. She's much more organized than I am. Like she said, I got the creative bug. I have nothing as far as organization, though, so
Well,
we're a good team.
well, that's good. But tell me, you just mentioned that you dye your own yarn. How did that come about?
Well, when we moved out of Atlanta, we just so happened to end up buying this house in Blue Ridge that had 2 kitchens. So we have an upstairs kitchen and a downstairs kitchen, and I thought, oh gosh, since we have another kitchen, we should dye yarn and put it on the website. So we did, and it's just taken off.
Now, you do wholesale as well as retail, is that correct?
Yes.
For the yarn.
Yes.
Okay, and how do people find you, or how do you find companies that want to buy your yarn, and what do these companies do that buy your yarn?
Well, we have sold to some local yarn shops. We're here in Atlanta at Niche and at Needle Nook. We've done a couple of other accounts, and they've really contacted me for the most part. Like sometimes we'll go to shows like SAF or Stitches South, and people who own the yarn stores will see us there at the show and will come up and ask us, you know, if we would be willing to sell wholesale.
Now that reminds me, you're going to be at another show in April.
Yes.
At the Cobb.
At the Galleria right here in Atlanta.
Cobb Galleria. Okay.
Yep.
And when is that? What are the dates?
It's April 22nd to the 26th, I think.
Okay, so you'll have a booth there.
Yep, we'll
Correct.
have a booth.
Okay. Now, Wayne, your pottery, is that also wholesale as well as retail?
No, just because there's such a tight profit margin on it anyway. I feel like if I sell it wholesale, I don't think we're getting what it's worth.
Well, and also it's the pottery is a much more time consuming process.
Mhm.
You know, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to get a bowl from start to finish. You
Wow.
know, whereas the yarn is a lot more volume friendly.
Okay. The other thing would be also is mass producing an item just one like the other, so I would assume that every piece you do is unique.
It's
and
very unique, right? I mean, I get requests for like a particular shape. I can recreate the shapes, and they can request a color, but we always tell them, because there's such an interaction between the clay and the glaze after it's fired, because it's fired to 2,300 degrees. It's hot. So, and a lot of things can change when it reaches that temperature. So, I mean, you can get, you know, certain shades, but you may not get an exact shade that somebody's looking for, like purples or blues or greens or combinations of. So, but
Now, do you teach pottery?
I do not. No.
Okay. Well, there's another revenue stream for you right there.
We don't have time.
Actually, we've got some samples of Wayne's pottery right here. Now, this has nothing to do with the knit witch. These are
Right.
things that you made.
These are just hobby things. Yeah.
Okay, all right, but they're very pretty, and they look like they could be very useful as well.
Yes, very useful. We use all lead-free glazes, and it's all non-toxic and dishwasher safe and all that.
Wow, great. Now, tell me, how do you promote your business? And I know the craft business may be a little different than some of the people that we interview on Business Notes, but what works in the craft business in terms of promoting your business and marketing?
Well, in the knitting and crochet world, we have this wonderful website called Ravelry, which is sort of a MySpace for knitters. So it's all fiber artists, you know, people who spin and knit and crochet, and you can get on there. We can advertise on there, and we can get in there on the forums and talk to people and answer questions and things like that. So it's really been a huge push for us to be able to get our product out there. So that's the main way we do advertising. Another way is, you know, our videos are on YouTube, so a lot of people look us up.
Your teaching videos.
Right, the teaching videos. A lot of people have looked us up through those videos, you know, to email us, and then they realize we have a website, and, you know, kind of goes from there. And also the shows, you know, help us get our product out there too.
Okay, now the blog, is that separate from
Oh yes, and the blog. Yeah, we have a blog that we update every day during the week.
Wow.
And we share stuff about knitting and the pottery and just stuff that's going on in our world up there in Blue Ridge, you know, talk a lot about wildlife and just stuff that's going on. And, you know, I think a lot of people think it's entertaining, or maybe they don't. So, but when we have like new products and stuff, we put it on there. And we also have a newsletter that you can sign up for on the website.
What is your website?
Knitwitch.com.
Knitwitch.com. That's pretty easy to remember.
Yep.
Now that will get you to the blog and to your pottery.
To the pottery.
And also in the yarn.
And the videos.
And the videos. So pretty easy.
It's one-stop shopping.
Okay. That's good for people.
And instruction. Yeah, because
Yeah.
the instruction videos are free. Anybody can
Oh,
get to them.
really?
Right.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't
Charge.
realize that. Okay.
And we are working on doing a CD, because we have had a lot of requests for the videos to be on CD so people can take them with them, you know, to play on their laptop and stuff like that when they don't have access to internet. So that's sort of the next thing we're going to be working on as soon as we get done with Stitches South, is doing more videos, more subject matter, and getting a CD together.
Okay, well, great. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thanks very much.
So please go visit Stitches South when they're here in April.
22nd to the 26th.
26.
And if you want to be on Business Notes, please give us a call at 404-320-7834 or drop us an email at admin on the Georgia Business Directory website. Thanks so much. Bye.